Are you rolling?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Take us home, my friend.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Uncommon Man Podcast. I'm your host, David. This is my boy here, Mike. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Let me start us off right with a nice crack open.
Cheers for you, my friend.
Tonight's gonna be another weekly Yap Session. Off the cuff, no scripts, no nothing. We're just gonna let the bullets fly, and sorry if we offended anybody ahead of time, but fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sorry at this point. If you guys are listening, you already know how much of a fucking group of dummies we are.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, you guys shouldn't be surprised at this point. Well, dude, so what's been new with you this week? I know obviously Wednesday got cut short just due to the fact that, I'm on this compressed schedule with school right now.
Mm-hmm.
What you been up to?
Oh man, nothing much. Same shit, different day, man. Like today, got off early. This is my son's mom's weekend, so I don't have him here, unfortunately. So I guess he gets to spend the weekend with her. Man, just kind of lonely right now, man. Teresa, she's out doing DoorDash right now, so I'm just like, okay, whatever.
I absolutely just love the shit out of your hustle, bro. You guys, you guys are just. I'm awestruck. Let me put it that way. I mean, it's
Yeah.
inspiring what the fuck you guys do to try and keep yourselves proactive, man. Like I literally, I'm in the middle of one class right now, and by the end of the day, I'm just sitting there, just my head cocked.
Yeah. Man, I think people got to understand, man, like there's like a million ways to make money. Like, but you just got to be willing just to go out there and get it. Like, and like really the money that she's making right now is shit that she wants to save for, which, hey, I'm all fine with it. Cool. If it's something that you have planned and you want to buy, you want to save for, cool. But at least she's going out there, she's going to get it. She's not asking me for it. I'm all fine. It's just me and her, we made an agreement. Hey, you got to put some money into our savings account. That's the only stipulation. As long as you contribute to our joint savings account, I'm cool. Whatever else you want to save for whatever bullshit, I don't give a fuck if she wants to buy a $3,000 Louis Vuitton purse. Hey, you made your money, fuck it. You go buy it.
Agreed. Yeah.
Can't knock you for it.
No, dude, that's one of the wonderful things about T. Me and Britt were talking about that the other day and how much we love you guys' relationship. It's just the fact that, like, T has always been, she's always had a really good head on her shoulders, Like, there's never been any point in time we haven't absolutely loved the ever living shit out of her. So, I mean, obviously, Brittany was closest, and you and I kind of hit it off. But like overall, you just generally see relationships span differently. They're separate ways, especially since we haven't been around you guys for very long. So knowing that you guys have weathered the storm through all this, and now that you guys have tied the knot, it was so endearing for us, man. We were so we were just talking about this literally the other day about just how excited and happy we were for you guys.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that makes our relationship works is when it comes down to it, she has the same work ethic I do. When it boils down to it, if she has to go out there and get it and make it, she will have the same drive and same work ethic I do. I don't bash her for the shit she buy. And she doesn't bash me for the shit I buy. But because she knows I'm smart enough to where if I want to buy something, I'm not going to let it affect our household bill money.
Right.
I will set a couple bucks to the side, even if that's me not eating out, me taking my lunch. I'll set that money to the side. Then whatever I want to buy, I'll spend it. And I think that's why we work so well together. I'm talking about out of all the years of me dating, this has been the very first relationship to where it's been a true partnership. All the other relationships I've been in has always been, I was always the hustler. I was always the go-getter. All the other chicks I've dated is kind of like, my man worked 3 jobs. I ain't got to do shit. It's always been like that kind of relationship,
Yeah.
So it's good to have somebody when it, push comes to shove. I know she'll get her ass out there and work.
She's a fucking stud, dude. Her entire family's off. Well, I mean, we don't know the rest of her family, but what we have met what we have met, they they kind of had
some
the
of them some duds. Hey, all Mexicans are not hardworking. I mean, that's all I can say. Some of them some fucking duds.
Woo!
Hey man, I'm married into the family, man. Fuck it. I say what the fuck I want. Fuck
you guys are such a crazy relationship too, dude. Just the overall dynamics of that's what's so great about it. So like anybody saw you guys on the street, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But
what's been going on your way? What's going on down in H-Town?
Oh, did you say wife or alive?
No, I said what's going on down in H-Town?
Oh, okay. I thought you said wife. I was like, yeah, unfortunately she's still alive. But get to claim that life insurance quick. Talk about hustling. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'll hustle all the way over to the bank, fucking cash that check out, go get myself a nice chunk of property.
Yes, sir.
I sit there and argue with her Needler every single day, being like, you gonna take one for the team today? How about today? How about this today, the lucky day? What's up?
Cashing on a life expectancy policy.
Right. No, dude. So this weekend I traveled over and picked up a new fuel tank. So the truck, the diesel, I had a major fuel leak that started transpiring out of my my mechanical fuel pump on the actual vehicle. Like it's gonna be somewhere else. What a fucking stupid thing to say. So the mechanical fuel pump has started substantially leaking, dude. And like, it would be one thing if it was just an oil leak. I would deal with that for a little while, kind of figure out what's going on, maybe try and plug it. But like, a fuel leak is a fucking problem. So, especially it's diesel. So if it's more inclined to ignite under atmospheric conditions than just regular fuel is. So, yeah, as soon as it started leaking, I cut that off. But this weekend I had gone over and traveled a couple hours out of town, picked up a fuel tank in the process of it, because my stock fuel tanks on my old truck, they're a dual fuel tank system. There's one in the front, there's one in the rear. And as soon as they went to a newer version of my pickup, for anybody that's listening, I've got a 97 F250 Power Stroke. So whenever they switched over the new body style at the end of 1998, they went to a single midship tank. So it's just one tank that runs down the inside inside portion of the frame underneath the chassis. And so what I did was I actually bought a tank off a guy with the full sending unit and everything off of it for a hell of a deal. And then I ordered up my fuel system now. So I'm actually deleting the mechanical fuel pump, and everything's going to be an electronic fuel pump from this point forward. And then we sold the Subaru today, so hopefully I should be putting the new turbo system on there as well, with new injectors. So yeah, it's been a productive week, dude.
That's good. That's good. So I'm assuming that you didn't get raped at the dealership when you was trading in the Subaru.
Yeah, quite the opposite, man. Like, I didn't realize this. I guess the new stigma for a lot of these car dealerships, I don't know if it's to try and get you in the door and weasel you into buying a used car or some shit like that, or trading yours in. But if you look, like, a lot of these cars will advertise on a billboard saying, hey, we'll buy your vehicle, just bring it in, kind of deal. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's just like some gimmick to get in the door or whatever. But we saw billboards around here, and we were like, well, fuck it, man. We'd like to get out from underneath this albatross that's been the Subaru, because we've just had nothing but issues with it. Oh, man. We'll get into my predicament with Subaru this week here in a little bit. But, yeah, so anyways, in-game was we ended up selling the Subaru tonight. What's up, buddy? We ended up selling the Subaru tonight, and so we don't have that fucking payment anymore, which is
good. Yeah.
What about you?
Nothing, man. It just, I don't know, man. Like, it's just been like down here, like it's been raining and stuff like that. So it's just been kind of ugly and muggy and shit like that. I mean, nothing at all to talk about. That's really been it, dude. It's been just a slow week. Nothing really major to report. So still alive.
That is wonderful news. I'm feeling really good this week, because I've had a fuck of a week when it comes to dealing with people.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just go into my little tangent here. First of all, I want to say fuck
Let it roll.
First, I want to say fuck you to Amy Schumer. Anybody's been following her Twitter feed, you can tell exactly how much I hate that cunt.
The unfunniest motherfuckers you can possibly think of.
Not only that, too, dude. Like, first off, she's the absolute definition of privilege. Like, she's the textbook definition of it.
Okay.
And
So fill me in because again, for everybody who don't know, besides our Twitter podcast, that's the only social media I have. I fuck social media. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I do what I can, but my knowledge of social media is very fucking limited.
so my update, I'm pretty much in the same boat, dude. Besides Facebook and LinkedIn, I don't really have anything else. But you're sitting here and it's hard to not tell about, like, you constantly see news reports and updates. I don't know about you. I literally get news updates on my phone. I don't know how or why, but they pop up saying like so-and-so is now under the microscope for sexually harassing so-and-so other year. But that came across from a prominent stand-up comedian here, which, I mean, the guy's not really my forte anyways. He's got a couple good one-liners, but for the most part, I never really liked his attitude. But apparently he's under the microscope for the fact that I guess he was sending inappropriate pictures to underage chicks. Like basically he was prepping them is the term that they use for it, where like underage, but he was like preparing them to turn 18 and make sexual advances toward them and stuff. And I guess there was just so much weird promiscuity to it. But the ironic part was the fact that Amy Schumer, she's already gone off the map anyways because she has been publicly criticized for stealing other people's material. And how she even has a relevant party is beyond me. Actually, it's not beyond me. It's because of the fact that her uncle is Chuck Schumer. So even as much of a fucking royal scumbag as she is, she still always has that backer to her. So she will never come out of prominence just for the fact that, or just because of that. So I was really pissed off because she jumped on the bandwagon like a lot of these fucking yahoos do, where she's like, I'm a woman and I'm constantly being ostracized for blah 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 blah. It's like, dude, fuck you, you dumb bitch. Like you've been publicly criticized because people have caught you red-handed doing the shit that you know for a fucking fact you would crucify someone doing.
And your fucking material is dog shit on top of that.
Well, I mean, look, you look at Joe Rogan, and I understand why he hasn't gone at it with Amy Schumer, because of the fact, so I said, dude, she's the definition of privilege, man. Who the fuck, like, knowing how insanely corrupt our political system is, who is going to commit suicide when you've hit the upper echelon by going at it with somebody is related to another individual that's that high in politics? I mean, I don't give a shit about her because we're fucking nobody. But at the same time, I'm not gonna fucking not castrate her for being such a royal cunt and sitting there acting like she's not guilty of doing horrific things too, and the millions of dollars she's cost some people by stealing their jokes and using them, people's own creative feed, and turning around and using them to profit herself. Dude, she's a fucking animal. So that was one rant.
Okay, let's go into some more rants, man. Let's go.
So the other one, guy sounds so good.
The fact that you said, honestly, like I can give two shits about Amy Schumer. I think she's dog shit.
Yeah,
any other like she has the perfect beaver face, and like I just don't fucking like her. And the fact that she said that she's Chuck Schumer's her uncle, I hate her that much even more. So.
Yeah, that's the only reason she's been able to get all the parts she has and whatnot. It's surely not because of talent. So
yeah, for sure.
It takes 30 seconds of listening to her just, I don't know, try and swallow the microphone whole to just be completely repulsed. But so the other one, dude, is I got to be honest, man. I don't think anything frustrates me more nowadays than just how fucking entitled people are. Like. And I say this from a dual perspective. I mean, I got to be subjective, but so we've been having major issues with the Subaru, as you've been well apprised of. We've got a 2016 Forester, and we've just had a plethora of issues with it. The car didn't even have 50,000 miles on it, man. We already had to replace the fuel pump on it. We had about 8 different recalls. And then on top of that, too, we've had to go through 3 of the Starlink head units on it. And all these are apparently really prevalent issues with these newer vehicles. I don't know if it's because Toyota bought out a primary stake in them, which is why the BRZ and the AE86 are the exact same thing. But yeah, Toyota owns like 25% of the, or has a 25% vested stake in Subaru now. So they did a joint venture for this FA20 engine, and they threw it in our car was one of the byproducts of it. When we bought the car initially thinking that it was going to have that Subaru liability to it, where it's like you could beat this thing up, take it off road, and it'll never break. Well, it's a whole new motor system to it, and we've had nothing but issues going on with it. But the problem with it is every time we've taken it in for an issue, they keep trying to find a way out of the recall. So we end up having to call up Subaru directly and then plead our case to them, even though the car, like I said, the car was within warranty when we went through the 3 head units. And then the fuel pump started having issues last year. Well, I ended up calling one of the local Subaru dealerships that had done a recall on it back in January regarding the fuel pump. And he goes, "Oh, you're out of warranty." I was like, "The fuck?"
Oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I was like, "The fuck you mean I'm out of warranty? It's less than 5 years old." He's like, "Oh, it's 3 years or 4 years as of October." It's like a 4-year warranty for a fuel system. Like it's got 41,000 miles on it, or 49,000 miles on it. How the fuck is it out of warranty? So, whatever. That is what it is. I was disappointed. That's life. What pissed me off the most was the fact that we had an issue. I fought with them about that. Our fuel pump died. That is what it is. They kind of honored some of it, and they helped us out and gave us a little bit of money for fixing the whole ordeal. But what pissed me off the most was these same guys that I had called about the fuel pump. They had done the recall on the rear springs back in January. So they replaced the rear springs, and when we got the car back after the fuel pump, we didn't even have the car back for 2 days. We noticed it was a major squeaking in the rear end on both sides. So the only thing that had been done to it was the recall. There's nothing else done. The suspension's all stock. So the only thing would possibly be, we would assume, would be covered under warranty, right? Well, we called back to the Subaru the dealership and like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we noticed that there was a squeaking noise." It's like, you guys could have told us. Like, we had no idea. Like, that's a safety hazard. We got into an accident, we could have fucking sued you. Like, I'm not expecting you to do all this shit, but just to act so cavalier about it, I mean, that's ridiculous. So we ended up we took the car in. The guy gets in the passenger seat with me. We don't even make it around the turn for the building because he was like, "All right, we need to take this out and test drive it." I was like, "Okay." So we don't even make it around the building, dude. Both sides are just just squeaking. This is metal on metal. You could tell that they're shot.
What the fuck did he do?
So he's like, "Yeah, you can go ahead and pull it around." So we literally just did one lap around the building, parked it back in the spot. That's how bad it was. And he goes, "Yeah, we'll take a look at it." I shit you not, David. This guy calls me up later on and has the audacity to be like, "Yeah, so we diagnosed the fact that the springs actually caused the damage from the recall. It's going to be $150 to replace the parts."
I would have told him, "Do you want me to punch you in the right eye or the left eye? Like, I'll let you take your pick on which one you want me to sock you in your fucking eye."
Bro, this car isn't even 5 years old yet. So he's sitting there and he tells me that, and I was like, "You're kidding, right?" He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, "No." He goes, "We had to reuse the old parts for replacing the springs. It wasn't part of the recall, so because of that, you guys are liable for it. It's not covered under warranty." So I had
no issues before I drove in there, but when I drive out now, I got fucking issues. You want me to fix them?
Exactly, dude.
Fuck you.
We had no concerns. We took it in for the recalls as preventative maintenance. I mean, there's a point to that, because obviously it's a safety hazard with the old parts. So it's like, well, I didn't have any issues. There was no squeaks from the suspension before we put the new springs on. So what the fuck? But like I said, dude, I'm pretty level-headed. Yelling at the guy isn't going to get anywhere. So I was just like, whatever, man. Dude, it's so bad at this point. We actually have a dedicated person in New Jersey at Subaru of America just strictly for our account. So anytime we have any issues, she's like a fucking liaison for us, bro. Like, oh yeah,
oh
I see
fuck, here come Mike Powell again.
Right, yeah, exactly. So
what you want, Mike?
Right. It's like you have a designated caseworker. Let me transfer you over to so and so. So, dude, yeah, that's how much of a fucking nightmare I've become for Subaru. But so she tells me that they're only going to pitch in $500 towards it, dude. And I was just sitting there going, is this for real? Like, you guys are something that you guys caused, not me.
Mm-hmm.
This is solely on you. You're not going to honor this whole thing. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't because the car's out of warranty and blah blah blah. So my roundabout to my rant is this, dude. I am so fucking tired of nowadays having to sit there and promote smear campaigns against people because they just refuse to meet you halfway on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We just have such a lack of an honor system when it comes to people being like, yeah, you know what, I see I'm being a little bit unreasonable in that aspect. That's fine. And like I said, it probably, I'm sure somehow I look like I'm entitled in this point, but my biggest deal is like, look, the fuel pump system is my fault. If I had taken this in last year when it had an issue, I would have had a case. So I paid the majority stake in getting the fuel pump fixed at the dealership, so that way the car was still completely factory. But to sit there and have them act like it was my fault for the recall, that was really frustrating, you know. But the sad thing is, they knew they were wrong, because I went online to both Subaru of America on Facebook and just wrote this laundry list of complaints that I had and why I was just so frustrated and pissed off about the situation. I kept it professional because, I mean, like I said, yelling and cussing is just going to make me look like an asshole. I mean, people, you're still gonna catch flaming arrows every now and then, anyways, because somebody's gonna come by and be like, "I never had an issue. Fuck you." It's like, yeah, I know. Well, I did. So anybody else that's considering having to deal with or endure these issues, take warning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it took me going on to Subaru of America and also writing one for the actual dealership where where the individual is working, and I get a phone call the very next day after I posted this on the Google review. And the guy calls me up and he goes, "Mr. Powell, I spoke with my service manager. We're going to validate and honor the rest of this $350, blah, blah, blah. We'll cover the entire repair." And
Yeah.
I was just sitting there waiting for it, dude. And sure as shit, dude, he goes, "Can you just do me one solid?" I got to be honest, dude, I had a smile from ear to ear. He goes, "Can you take down the Google review?" And I was just sitting there smiling, going, "Dude, it should have never come to this in the first place." Like,
nah, it shouldn't have, man.
You guys know how wrong this whole situation was. You guys should have honored this. But the other thing pissed me off too is he stepped up and made excuses for the service manager. It's like, dude, as soon as Subaru of America got involved in this, he basically acted like the service manager had no idea. As soon as Subaru of America contacted them, you damn sure know for a fact as a ex-manager, or I'm sorry, current manager yourself, you fucking would have found out about it.
Mm-hmm.
You would have heard it. They'd been like, "Oh shit, we got Subaru calling about this guy, blah, 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 blah. This is going to come across my desk." No matter how big or small, when the head honchos call up, generally somebody, it's going to hit the manager's desk. So that means it took the owner looking at the Google reviews to be like, "Yeah, these guys are there's an issue here, so you need to resolve it." But it's like, give me a fucking break, man. What happened to people's integrity?
Man, like all it is, man, is some parts that they already have in stock.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's only parts that you already have in stock.
What's like this, dude? I mean, in your heart of hearts, brother, you've got a pretty good honor system to you. Like, if you fix somebody's car and then 4 months from now, you know that you reuse parts on it, and you put a new part in, but reuse the old parts, and in the process of that, the old parts got damaged. Whether it be the next week or 4 months down the road, and you diagnose it as that. Would you not honor it, or would you sit there and tell them that they owe for the new parts?
Like me and you, like we're both car guys, right? And so I look at it as if, when you fix somebody's car and you put somebody in a car, like, dude, like somebody's life is damn near at stake, right?
Right.
Because high mileage, high speed, you're on the freeway, shit breaks down, shit can fuck up real fast, and shit can go south real fast. So you have to think it as if, like, okay, when I fix somebody's car while I work on somebody's car, like somebody's life is at stake here. Somebody's family's in that car, somebody's wife in that car, somebody's life is in that car. And I mean, come on, bro. Like, let's be honest. Him fixing your car is parts that they already have in stock. Okay, when you go bro, it's no difference if I take my car to any Dodge dealership around town. It's already parts that you already have in stock. It's not like I took it to a Toyota dealership and Toyota has to outsource parts to fucking O'Reilly's, AutoZone or whatever the fuck. You already have the parts in stock. Dude, just fucking fix it. Dude, a good mechanic is almost like a barber. Once you find a good barber, or a good mechanic, like you stick with that motherfucker and you keep going back because you know he's going to treat you right. You know he's going to do it right the first time. And you don't have to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. I don't know, bro. It's just, I don't know. Just some things is just kind of like, I don't know. I mean,
it's
like,
so wild.
bro, but as you can see in today's society, integrity is nothing. I mean, it's sad as it is. Like, bro, who fucking got integrity nowadays?
Dude, it's just so wild, man. Like it just. But the thing that's crazy is like people get all huffy and puffy until they realize their name's on the line, and it's like, dude, if you just been decent in the first place, like I'm not gonna argue with you or get aggressive with you. That does me no good. That just ends up putting me in handcuffs.
Yeah.
I
don't give a fuck that you made a mistake. Is when you make a mistake, how you act about it. Like if you just tell me like, hey, bro, I fucked up. I'll go ahead and correct it. I'm like, all right, cool, bro. I understand shit happens. I mean, everybody's human. People fuck up. I mean, but when you want to act like a dick about it or whatever, then and the only reason why you're responding to me is because I posted a fucking Google review. God forbid somebody sees that Google review, like, oh fuck.
Well, and that was just it too. It was like, I mean, it just goes to show that my case was made, and I had a decent complaint. Like the situation was completely in my court. It's like I don't know. It just seems like nobody really wants to meet halfway anymore. They have to wait till you like one person. It's almost like it's a glorified bully tactic. It's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna needle you until you break. It's like, why can't we just meet halfway, man?
Yeah.
Or just do the right thing in general. Like, and the same thing's going right now with our old landlord, bro. He's sitting there.
You still dealing with that fucking guy?
Yeah. So because of all of the extreme amount of damages that happened to his house, someone had offered him. It was one of those like we buy homes kind of deals. They had offered to buy the house like the week after we left out. Well, what happened was they put the house under contract. And we were monitoring the whole thing because we knew it was going to absolutely fall off the rails, and it sure as shit did, dude. Because whoever the fuck bought it probably was in the process of buying it. Had someone walk through the house, and like the home inspector probably was like, "There's no fucking way, dude. Dude, there is internal water damage to that house because that fucking clown." For 3 years, we fucking argued with it, or we complained to him on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. Look, this air conditioning unit's old; it leaks. Well, and in 3 years, man, he just kept coming out doing his janky ass slumlord tactics of, oh, okay, well, I'll just send one of my little cronies out there to fix the fucking house. And in the process of it, man, there was a big deal, but I'm not going to get into it. But in the process of it, when we moved out, the major reason we moved out is because of the fact that we couldn't afford the electricity through the summer, dude. The air conditioning system was so decrepit that like we were paying. We actually have Brittany went and broke down an Excel spreadsheet chart of how much we were paying by comparison to everybody in the local area, and we were paying like 70% over other people.
Right. Because it has to run that much harder in order to cool the house. And you live in fucking Houston. It's humid as fuck down there.
Well, and it's no different than living in Arkansas, man. I mean, it's hot as shit and humid up there too. But when you what pissed me off about this fucking cunt is the fact that we have a rental property, dude. I mean, we've already discussed that a few times on the pod for anybody that's an avid listener. And our house is very nice. I'm not saying it's not without issue. Every house is. But the difference is our air conditioning unit is less than 3 years old. It's brand fucking new. It's all touchscreen wireless crap. We have a new heater. We have everything. Every time there's an issue that the renter complains about or calls us up about, we make sure that we fix it, and we fix it right the first time. This fuckface is he's so predispositioned on saving money and just being a worm that like he just basically nickel and dime his house, man. I could pick it apart till the cows come home. But there was a couple times in there, like, he actually took shots at me and Brittany, like, is this how you would have your house, and blah, 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 for things that had happened to it. And now he's sending, because of the fact that the house
bitch, you'll get pimp slapped. You'll get pimp slapped talking like that.
That's just it. Is like, he's a realtor. So it's like the next thing that's going to happen is I'm just going to write a nice nasty gram on whoever the fuck. Because, I mean, you want a rating. I hate to break this to you. If your name's out there, buddy. I mean, I've already seen what a wonderful rating. I've already seen what one smear campaign can do this week. So I can't wait to see what this next one's going to do, this guy. Because, yeah, so there was basically some of the damages that got incurred to the house. They were because when we were moving in. But the other stuff was like, he was just writing up dumb shit like the blinds. First off, the fucking windows are literally from the 70s, dude. They're those old single pane windows. So when you go to pull up on them, like, you got to yoke through the blinds. Well, I mean, pieces of these chintzy ass blinds that he has, it's that faux wood. They broke off on one of them. So he wrote us up, or he fucking tried to charge us for that. All you do is just pull out one of the blinds from the bottom, the spares, and swap it out. So he wrote us up for that. The old ass blinds, the stand-up blinds that were in the house, 2 of them got broken because when we'd try and go outside the fucking single pane glass door from the 1970s that he has off to the side to go out on the porch. 2 of them had broke over time. So he wrote us up for that. Dude, he wrote us up for oil stains in the fucking garage.
Yeah.
So it's like,
he's really trying to nickel and dime you for everything.
Exactly. Yeah, he's doing that stuff. And I told him today, I was like, he sent us not an itemized list, of course not. He sent it as one whole bit because, you know, he just had one of his little fucking cronies go in there and fix things. Dude, but he tried to tell us that it was $60 to clean the garage. It's like, dude, you can kiss my fucking dick. Like, it's a garage. Like, we didn't leave tar on the floor. There was oil stains. Like, that shit happens. So, like, you go into any garage in the United States, and if it's fucking crystal clean, that's because of the fact that people don't park in there. So yeah, he was trying to write us up for that. Dude, he was trying to write us up for scratches in the paint. I mean, in the drywall. Like, we had I'd slipped and fallen and I'd hit a hole through part of the drywall when I had chemo, or I was going through chemo.
Oh, yeah.
So I patched the shit. I just didn't paint it. And so he tried to charge us for that, saying that it wasn't up to standard of code. It's like, you can't do anything. That's normal wear and tear. I hate to break this to you. And then the other one is, and we know this because we have renters. This is stuff that we all had to eat out of cost or eat out of pocket last time renters moved out of our house. They also had a TV mounted on the wall, same as we did. Well, he's trying to charge us for the patchwork because of the fact that there was 2 holes drilled in the wall for where we had the TV mounted. It's like, you can kiss my dick, dude. I'm not paying you for that. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's just being a fucking scuzzball, man. So he sent us a bill, and he already took our deposit, and he was saying we owed on top of that. It's like, no, you can get fucked. So, yeah, that's pretty much been our week, man. So, like I said,
I tell old Bobby Lee that we will come down there and we will make real damage in his house. You tell him if you want to do that shit, tell Bobby Lee we'll come down there and we'll make real damage. Start taking a bet to shit.
Dude, I feel like we just turned this into a therapy session for me. I'm sorry for just taking up so much time.
I mean, bro, somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. I'll charge you next time. It's okay.
Dude, I mean, it's hysterical to an extent, but like the wild thing about it is the fact that, like, that's all you got to do nowadays. I mean, I guess anybody that's actually hasn't droned off at this point and is still listening, dude, just smear campaign people, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's really it's the modern version of calling someone the racist word, you know? Yeah,
Right.
pulling the race card. It's like, oh, okay, well,
Really? I'm
here's
gonna
my other
write a
Trump card.
nasty Yelp review on your ass.
Exactly, dude, and it fucking works.
Yeah.
So,
Mike
but
is a petty Karen over here, right? Right, Yelp reviews.
yeah,
You petty ass Karen.
it's true. I walk around everywhere with my hands on my hips.
What can I bitch about today?
Right.
But yeah, man, that's what's up.
What you guys got going this upcoming week?
For the 4th?
Yeah.
We're definitely celebrating the 4th for all you fucks out there. We're definitely celebrating Independence
Make sure you wear
Day.
your mask. You know, you don't want to get this whatever virus that's.
God forbid that has like 30 different names.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, well, it's prevalent again now because all the protesting's gone. So
let's not start because I don't want to get kicked off any platform.
Well, I'm just happy to be back in my hobbit hole and wearing masks now everywhere I go out. So
sure, bro.
Thank you, America.
Dude,
I appreciate it.
Can I rant for a second?
I would love to hear it.
So I went to Chipotle, right? So you gotta know how this is gonna go. So I went to Chipotle, right? And so I walked up to the door and I see this random ass girl just standing outside the door, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. And so I see this worker, he comes and hands her the food. And as he's opening the door, I'm trying to like walk in. He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He was like, you gotta have a mask to come in. I looked inside, I'm like, bro, it's empty. And I was like, and so, me, I'm the type of person, like, I order my food well ahead of time because the only Chipotle I have near me is on University in Little Rock, and I'm coming for sure. So I automatically I place the order through the app so I can just go in.
People don't understand this. That's about 8 miles away and about a 10, 15-minute drive.
Yeah, for sure. And so I was about to walk in there, and the guy was like, you got to have a mask on. And I looked at it, I was like, my man, it's nobody in the fucking building, and all of y'all have masks on. And I'm like, really? So you going to do me like that? So I was like, you know what? I was like, go get my order off the fucking rack. And so he went and got my order. And I was just like, oh, I was like, here we go with this shit again. I was like, here we go with this shit again.
Yes, that reminds me. I got to tell you about my Jersey Mike story yesterday. Yes. Bro.
Gotta love this.
So, I mean, you know how I am, dude. For the most part, I try and make people laugh as much as possible. Well, I'm extremely well known at a Jersey Mike's that was down in Sugar Land where we used to live. So, but I'm also a creature of habit. I still travel down there most of the time to go pick up a sandwich. But it's kind of like VIP when I walk in. Even guys that I don't remember know me. So yeah, they'll stop talking to people, whoever's fucking ordering shit, and say, "Hey, what's up?" So, which is a really cool feeling. That means I've left left a good impression on them. But my biggest deal is it's a fucking 15-minute drive now. I don't really want to do that. As a Jersey Mike's that's 3 minutes up the road. That's right. Suck it, University Place. Eat Chipotle, boy.
You love Chipotle.
But so we went into this other Jersey Mike's the other day, and I was just like, well, maybe they have my sandwich. I order a specific type of sandwich. I do all the fucking meats, and they throw it on the grill, and then they do like most of the veggies and stuff like that. But they also, while it's on the grill sizzling, they'll throw some Franks on there, and it's called the Beast.
Ooh.
But dude, it's
a hot sub.
It's fantastic, dude. It's all the meats,
Okay.
plus Philly steak.
Ooh.
So, yeah, man, it's expensive, but it's fucking awesome. So I go in there. The guy working behind the counter was the old manager from the other place. He got upgraded, or they gave him a promotion, moved him up here. And so I just walked in. He's like, dude. So I walked in. Me and Britt had no masks on. Everybody else was wearing a mask except for like the one guy. There was one guy behind me, in front of me. And so we ordered we were bullshitting at that point in time, you're kind of VIP status. Everybody's like, hey man, what can I do for your sandwich? That kind of shit. Just that feel good effect. But there was this old guy behind us, man. I was just getting that vibe. Like he was one of those super unlikable assholes, one of these dipshits that stands there like this all the time, always at parade rest with his hands on the lower portion of his back. You can just tell he's one of those fucking dumbasses who walks through a Home Depot and instead of looking down the aisles is just sitting there staring up in a La La Land at the ceiling, wondering, oh, who put the fans up there? That kind of dumb shit.
Yeah, the dumbass guy.
Dude, I fucking shit you not, man. This old cunt, I was just waiting for it because he was giving me like these weird sneers, but then he'd look away as soon as he realized I was making eye contact with him. So he finishes his food. Obviously, mine took longer than his did to make. And he makes this little pop shot. This poor chick working me on the counter, he makes this pop shot at her. I guess they had just implemented the face shield thing yesterday. He goes, as of the 25th, you know that you're not supposed to have people in here without their mask on. And dude, me and Britt were sitting there for a second, and I was like, oh, he's talking shit. So I'm sitting there, man. He walks by, and I just grilled him. Just fucking looked at him like, please say something. Please. The guy ghosted me, dude. Wouldn't make eye contact, nothing. But this fucking Charlie male, not even the courtesy of a beta male, this Charlie male he talks shit to this poor little girl behind the counter like it's her fucking fault.
Right, because you came in without a mask on.
Yeah, so he's taking out his transgressions on her. Wouldn't make eye contact with me because I was going to get up and get in his shit. And then walks the fuck out the door, dude. And it brought down the whole atmosphere, man. But it's like, man, fuck you. Suck a dick. Yeah. And I said, I said that when he walked out, too. I go, man, fuck that guy. While he was at the door, I was sitting there staring at him. He wouldn't turn around.
Walking out with his hands behind his back and shit, trying to scratch his ass.
Fucking faggot. Hopefully he's stick this full fist up there. Fuck him.
Golly. So are you celebrating the 4th, sir?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get the truck done so that way we can take the boat out. I'd like to go spend it on the lake.
Nice.
4th of Sunday? What day
this is like my first dude, this is like my first 4th in like 2 years actually being off. So I'm going to enjoy this fucking day. I'm really going to enjoy it. I'm gonna spend it with like-minded people and people that I really want to be around and just rein in the fort because hey, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be so lucky to just have a complete day off.
That's awesome.
Don't have to do nothing. Like we got some friends that they've invited us over. Like we've got invited to a couple different places. So I mean, really, it's like I don't know if we're gonna house hop or what. I don't know.
You guys are so fucking likable, dude.
I don't know, dude. Like, I have no idea. But either way it go, we're gonna do something because, like I said, I haven't did anything in 2 years for the 4th. Because normally I'm always working.
Right.
And I think last year I worked my second job because they was offering overtime. I was like, oh fuck yeah, let me get some of that overtime money. But this year I'm not gonna be a greedy bitch. I'm just gonna sit back and relax, enjoy it with the family.
That's fantastic, dude. I'm so happy you get to actually categorize as that too. Now the T's in there.
Oh man, spend time with the family.
Look at you fancy fucking man.
With the family.
Yeah, you're so poised.
Yeah. But all right, everybody. That was a good one, man. It was a lot of ranting and that shit.
I think it was stuff that I think to an extent we've all been boiling over, but like the funny thing is just being able to like backtrack and realize the hilarity that ensued.
For sure.
Just the fact that the whole everything we were bitching about is something that's like it shouldn't have even been an issue in the first place. And it's like, I mean, how do you not laugh at the outcome? So
man, that's all it is, man. You just got to sit back and learn to laugh at the bullshit and learn that a lot of shit is just stupidity. I mean, that's what it boils down to. A lot of shit is just fucking stupidity.
A lot of people who walk around with their hands on the small of their back.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter and also on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe.
Uncommon Man Pod at Twitter. And we'll catch you next time. Right. Oh, other thing too, upcoming events we have going on for you fine folks. As anybody that's been following us on social media, we will be doing a fantasy football live draft for everybody. It's going to be I know it's kind of hacky at this point, excuse me, but we like the fact that there's going to be like instead of just people drafting and just basically looking at a computer screen, we're going to have people drafting and actually get to see what their managerial tactics are when they're under the gun. Okay. So everybody's going to be on a joint screen. You guys are going to get to see everybody who's under the who's going to be under the knife when it comes to having to be on the clock. The other thing about too, the next couple of segments we got going on for you guys is going to be some fantasy draft advice, not expertise, because let's not kid ourselves. This is fantasy football. There's no such thing as an expert in fantasy football.
Right.
We've all had our winning seasons. We've all had our fucking dive bomb seasons. But we'll give you guys some ideas and some pointers on what we have seen success with, and kind of like what our approach would be going into whatever fantasy. It doesn't really matter. All you can do is just wait till your fucking turn comes around and then hope that the guy's there. So, and that's why it's a fucking draft. So
yeah.
That's it, guys. Enough waterboarding you. David, have a great night, buddy, and we will catch up with you guys sometime in the next couple of days.
Peace out.